Allen's Native Ventures 2026 Annual BBBB Mushroom Walk, May 24, 2026, hosted by David Lewis and Rees Cronce.
When we're on the trail, if you see a mushroom and you're curious, yell out, and David or me or we'll come and kind of talk to you about it. We might, if it's a notable thing to teach about, we might hold it up for everyone, and we'll talk about, is it edible, is it non-edible, and maybe the ecology, what trees it might be associated with, or is it a saprobe breaking down the wood? And be curious. This is not going to be like a super strict walk. We're not asking you to INAT everything and bio blitz, whatever. If you want to do that, that's great. It helps us.
Yeah, we are keeping a list.
More relaxed.
We'll add them to the list.
Yeah, we'll add them, Dr.
We will add it.
Yeah, we have a list of 252,
I think it.
Yeah, 252 now.
Species, yeah.
From here over the last 20 years. So.
How often are you puzzled?
All the time.
Even you specialists still sometimes you don't know.
We're overwhelmed. There's probably I don't know, maybe half the species might be undescribed. We're not sure.
On planet Earth, only scientists estimate only like 10%
of mushrooms have been
of mushrooms on entire Earth.
Yeah.
It's something like 2.2 million species, and we've only described 150,000.
And follow-up questions
Roughly.
like, would you know in this area everything which is edible or not edible?
Mostly chanterelles for sure.
Another common misconception, I think back in the 60s and 70s, mushrooms were demonized. The whole Timothy Leary thing, turn on and drop out thing. Mushrooms got a bad rap, and everybody was like, don't touch a mushroom, it'll kill you or make you crazy. And realistically, there's only 2 or 3 mushrooms that will actually kill you around here that we know of. Most, if you consume it, it might make you sick. And
But the rule number,
I'm not encouraging you to go and just pick up mushrooms and eat them.
Yeah.
But also, don't have this huge misconception that it's gonna hurt you.
rule number 1: know what you're eating, because bad taxonomy can kill.
Mycotroph mushrooms are a special kind of fungus that don't make their own food like most plants or fungi. Instead, they get nutrients by forming close partnerships with other organisms, often plants, through a network of tiny threads called mycelium. This relationship is usually mutualistic. The mushroom helps the plant absorb water and minerals from the soil, while the plant shares sugars it makes through photosynthesis. Think of it like a silent, underground trade system. In the U.S., scientists have identified around 10,000 species of mushrooms overall, but only about 200 to 300 are known to be mycotrophic or mycotroph, meaning they rely on this symbiotic lifestyle. In Louisiana alone, roughly 40 to 50 of those mycotrophic species have been documented, including famous ones like truffles and certain chanterelles. They're not just rare, they're also vital to healthy forest ecosystems, helping trees grow stronger and more resilient. If you've ever seen a tree thriving in a shaded, damp spot, chances are its roots are connected to a hidden world of mycotrophic fungi working quietly beneath the surface. Puffballs are one of the most fascinating and beginner-friendly mushrooms, simple in shape but full of wonder. Unlike many fungi that have gills or caps with intricate patterns, puffballs look like smooth, round balls, sometimes as small as a marble or as large as a basketball. They're usually white or beige when young, turning brown or dark as they mature. The magic happens when they're ripe. Squeeze them, and a cloud of spores bursts out, like a tiny living fog machine. Puffballs don't have a stem or gills, they're basically just a sack of reproductive cells wrapped in a tough outer skin. In North America, about 100 species of puffballs are known, and Louisiana alone hosts over 30 of them, especially common in moist, wooded areas or grassy fields after rain. Fun fact, some edible puffballs, like Lycoperdon perlatum, can be cooked like potatoes, but always double-check identification with an expert before eating. Keep your eyes peeled on damp ground, and you might just spot your first puffball tonight. Toothed mushrooms, also called tooth fungi or hydnoid mushrooms, are a fascinating group of fungi that don't have gills like typical mushrooms. Instead, they grow spores on tiny, tooth-like projections hanging from the underside of their caps or stems. Think of them as nature's little hanging teeth, hence the name. These mushrooms are often found in forests, especially near hardwood trees, and many are edible, though always double-check with a local expert before eating. In the United States, over 200 species of toothed mushrooms have been documented, with Louisiana hosting around 40-50 of those, especially in its rich, humid woodlands. Popular examples include Hydinum repandum, the hedgehog mushroom, and Sarcodon imbricatus, the shaggy tooth fungus. While not all toothed mushrooms are safe to eat, their unique structure makes them a favorite among mycologists and foragers alike. If you're just starting out, remember, when in doubt, leave it out, and always consult a trusted guide or expert before picking anything wild.
So this little white mushroom here, growing on the edge of, this is one of my favorite first polypores that I learned. And even though it's in the polypore group, it actually has teeth. If you want to look at its teeth, you can use a hand lens. It's very tiny. And when you get it up close to your face, when you're looking at it, you can also smell it. It smells amazing. It smells like citrus fruits. You almost want to take a bite out of it because it smells so good, but I don't think it's edible. If y'all want to take a whiff, pass some around.
Found some yesterday.
It smells wonderful. Some have stronger odors than others.
That smell really good.
And its scientific name is called Donkia polypterima. You can remember its scientific name because it's a hoof fungus. It kind of grows on the edge of a tree like a hoof. And it's also kind of fuzzy, so donkeys kind of have a little hair on them.
Yes,
So maybe that's a good way to remember the scientific name. Donkia polypterima. Take a whiff of that. It smells.
This is the one that has teeth as well.
It has little teeth. If you almost need a hand lens to see the teeth.
Jelly fungi are a fascinating group of mushrooms that look and feel like soft, wobbly gelatin, hence the name. Unlike most mushrooms with caps and stems, they often grow directly on wood or soil and have a rubbery, translucent, or shiny texture. You might spot them after rain, when they're especially squishy and vibrant. They're not just pretty, they play important roles in ecosystems by breaking down dead trees and recycling nutrients. Some even have medicinal uses in traditional practices. In the U.S., around 100 species of jelly fungi have been documented, and Louisiana alone hosts about 25 of those, especially common in humid, forested areas like the swamps and hardwood forests of the state. If you're new to mushrooms, jelly fungi are a great place to start exploring nature's weird and wonderful diversity.
So when you see this, you know it's a wood
gave me
ear
like 7
because
gallons
it's
one
floppy
time.
like your ear.
Chanterelle and trumpet mushrooms are two popular edible fungi loved for their unique shapes and delightful flavors. Chanterelles look like golden, funnel-shaped cups with wavy edges. Think of a little trumpet turned upside down. They have a sweet, peppery aroma and a slightly fruity taste, often compared to apricots or pineapple. In the wild, they're usually found in forests near trees like oaks and pines, especially after rain. Trumpet mushrooms, on the other hand, come in many forms, some tall and slender, others wide and cup-like. They're known for their earthy, nutty flavor and firm texture. While some species grow in woodlands, others thrive in gardens or even indoors under the right conditions. In the United States, there are about 25 known chanterelle species, though only a few are commonly harvested. Louisiana, with its humid subtropical climate and rich forested areas, hosts around 8-10 of those species, especially in the pine and hardwood forests of the southern region. Always double-check your ID before picking, as some similar-looking mushrooms can be toxic. When in doubt, consult a local expert or use a trusted field guide. A polypore is a type of mushroom that grows on wood and has tiny pores instead of gills on its underside. Think of it like a sponge with lots of tiny holes. Those are the pores where spores are released. Unlike many mushrooms that have flat blade-like gills, polypores look more like shelves, brackets, or caps stuck to trees and logs. They're often tough, leathery, or woody in texture and can live for years. Many are saprotrophic, meaning they help break down dead wood and recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Some even form symbiotic relationships with living trees. In the U.S., scientists have documented around 1,000 polypore species, while Louisiana alone hosts about 250. These fungi play a quiet but vital role in forest health, and if you ever spot one growing on a fallen log, take a closer look. It's likely a polypore.
It's important to look at the underside.
Oh yeah.
And some mushrooms have pores. Some mushrooms, like boletes, have pores or tubes,
Oh really?
little
Okay.
circles. Gilled mushrooms have these, long striation gills. Some people, when I say gills, they're like,
Oh God.
"What's a gill?" I'm like, "Okay." But others have a structure that looks like a maze. We call this dataloid, like the Greek story of Daedalus. So if you can't really see it from the naked eye, but if you use a hand lens, you can hold. It's best if you use both hands. I'm sorry. Yeah. And if you look real close, put the hand lens up to your eye, and then move the mushroom in focus.
I guess I better
You see
get
it?
caught up.
It's kind of hard.
I'm exhausted already.
You see that? The super
I know.
maze-like structure.
Yeah, I know.
Spencer, you want to see
Too
the
much
maze
energy.
in the mushroom? The maze in the mushroom.
Okay.
Which way?
So hand lens up to your eyeball.
This side?
Either way is fine. And then move the mushroom in focus.
Okay. Could you not do that? Oh, gosh.
Super wicked, huh?
So cool.
What you got, Rees?
I'm gonna defer to you on this.
Oh God.
I'm not.
You're on the front row now.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, speaker.
Let's see.
You're the expert.
On what?
Some people say I'm the expert.
Oh, this is trichaptum.
I'm not an expert.
Sector. Yeah.
Trichaptum sector?
Sector, yeah. Got the
I
dark,
figured trichaptum, but I wasn't sure on the species.
Yeah. Got the concentric Then the dark,
And it's
dark.
Dataloid.
Yeah. It's almost like they break up into spines. Oh, good find.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to put it in here.
Okay.
So we'll get all beat up.
Club and coral fungi are fascinating types of mushrooms that don't look like the typical cap and stem variety. Club fungi, or Basidiomycota in scientific terms, often grow upright like small clubs, pencils, or even tiny antlers. Some even form clusters with branching shapes. Coral fungi, on the other hand, resemble underwater coral reefs with thin, branching structures that can be bright orange, white, or pink. They're not actually corals, they're fungi, but their shape is strikingly similar. Both types play important roles in ecosystems, breaking down wood and organic matter to recycle nutrients back into the soil. In the U.S., over 1,000 species of club fungi have been recorded, while coral fungi number around 250. Louisiana, with its humid climate and rich forests, hosts about 150 club fungi and roughly 30 coral fungi species, many of them seasonal and found in hardwood forests or along riverbanks during wet months. If you're new to mushrooms, these are great ones to spot. They're colorful, unique, and rarely confused with anything else. A bolete is a type of mushroom with a distinctive sponge-like or pore-covered underside instead of gills. Think of it as the mushroom version of a kitchen sponge, but way more beautiful and edible in many cases. The cap is usually rounded and fleshy, often in earthy tones like brown, red, or tan. When you cut into a bolete, you'll notice those tiny pores under the cap, which are where spores are released. Some well-known edible boletes include the king bolete, Boletus edulis, prized for its rich, nutty flavor in soups and sautés. Not all boletes are safe to eat. Some can cause stomach upset, so proper identification is key. In the United States, there are about 100 species of boletes, while Louisiana hosts roughly 30 of them, especially in its humid forests and pine woodlands. Always consult an expert before eating wild mushrooms. Your health matters most. And then, what do you think this might be? It's turning blue. It kind of bruises like we do because they're very delicate. It does look spongy. So this is a bolete. It's a bruising bolete.
Look at that.
It has pores underneath and it's real spongy. That's how you know it's a bolete. A gilled mushroom is a type of fungus that has thin, blade-like structures called gills underneath its cap. Think of them like the ridges on the underside of a pizza slice. These gills are where spores are produced and released, helping the mushroom reproduce. Most people recognize them by their classic umbrella shape, a cap on top, a stem below, and those distinctive gills underneath. Not all mushrooms have gills. Some have pores, teeth, or no visible structure at all, but gilled mushrooms make up one of the most common and recognizable groups. In the United States, there are over 2,000 known species of gilled mushrooms. Louisiana, with its humid subtropical climate and rich forests, hosts around 300 of those species, many of which appear in spring and fall, especially after rain. Keep an eye out for them in woodlands, lawns, or even your backyard garden.
If you find an amanita, we have a digger to get them out of the ground. Yeah, because amanitas, well, we'll get into that when we find one. Yeah.
And why?
Amanitas.
Yeah, but why? Because they are.
Because they have the vulva in the ground, and we had to get the vulva out of the ground.
If you destroy the vulva, the base, the vulva is kind of distinct for identification. So if you destroy it, you kind of lose that information.
So we have Amanita right here. We got to get this one out of the ground. See, yeah, something's been eating on it. There we go. Beautiful vulva. Looks like a little egg when it first comes out of the ground. Okay.
What you got, David?
Ochre compacta.
And where do we
Ochre compacta.
Yeah.
How do we know it's ochre compacta?
Because I know. No, so it used to be
Has
Russell.
an ochre
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, the spore print is really deep orange. Yeah. This is described from West Virginia back, I guess, in the 80s. And it's real common down here. And my colleague Bart from France has made a new genus for it because it has so many differences from typical Russula. This is the genus Multifoca now.
I don't know whose this is.
So, because it's got, look at the gills, they split. Dichotomously fork, I should say. Anything about this, we'll look at it, we'll cut it in half. It has a lemon-like odor to it.
It's got a slug, I noticed.
Come on.
Yeah, so this is a good find.
Cool.
All right. Onward.
Okay. Got that?
We are gathered here today.
Look at the stipe. They got little pits called
Preach the
scorbiculatum.
gospel of mushrooms.
There's like little pits on the stipe.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't see that one much.
It's kind of uncommon, but
Okay. What else? Look. What do you think this is? Well, this is what's called a brittle gill. You know why it's called a brittle gill? Because it's very brittle. It's like kind of feels like chalk. Look on the edge on here. And if you throw it at a tree, it'll shatter into a bunch of pieces because it's very brittle. So that's how you know this is a brittle gill. Its scientific name is Russula. Yeah, this is super common. This is what would be a common name for this? We call it sterium or parchment.
yeah.
It's a parchment shelf, and it's super common. It kind of feels like a leathery paper. Tetrapegos Niger peas.
All the
A lot of
species
times you'll
listed up.
find them growing on leaf litter,
Premium
and they're
Rees
tiny
probably get names in
mushrooms
some of these.
that are black-footed. They kind of have some black coloring at the bottom and then white at the top. And the common name is the black-footed morass.